Hi, it's Kathy, Quality Coach Kathy, LLC, here to give you some important information about Tapping into Wealth Coaches program. And I'm going to read off verbatim the certification requirements. That's why I got my reading glasses on. And I'm going to be here with you for 3 pages and a couple of other items I wanted to cover, so that you have a person and a fantastic person to kind of go through this with. And I like to hear it, so reading it out loud helps me. And it is one of those things that it just sort of seems like it might help someone else. So I'm making a quick video to go over Margaret Lynch's Tapping into Wealth Coaches program, requirements for your Tapping into Wealth certification, copyright 2016. 1, passing score on the written exam. The exam can be found in the membership area under handouts, Tapping into Wealth exam. It's open book, and I recommend, at least this is what I'm doing, filling it out as you go. 2, 1 case study from each of the 8 training modules. There are the first 8 training modules found in the membership area. Number 1, money map. Number 2, earliest paradigm and the downside of wealth. 3, financial trauma process, either loss-based or anger betrayal based. Loss or anger betrayal based. 4, setting an outrageous goal process. 5, goal trauma process. 6, deserve more money process, also referred to as outrageous goals part 2 and the vow to be invisible. 7, retrain their brain to celebrate progress. And we're doing that with our own brains. Retrain your brain to celebrate progress and creation. 8, hidden agenda process and backlash process. The backlash isn't a process you can plan. It's optional if it comes up for a client. These case studies should be done with clients or practice clients, not with other Tapping into Wealth coaches. Recorded, written up, and submitted following the specific instructions below with links to the recordings. So there are more instructions for the case studies. And you need a case study for each of the 8 modules. They need to be recorded, written, and submitted with the specific instructions. They need to be a not peer, not a Tapping into Wealth peer. 3, 5 additional case studies on the Clarity Strategy Action, CSA, sessions with real prospective clients. Get it done. These case study write-ups should include what was discovered during the conversation, the packages and prices you offered, and whether or not the person signed up to work with you. A link to the recording of each session should be included. The CSA training called Strategy Session with Bethany can be found under Module 10. So they need to be recorded too. Number 4, complete the accountability form for each module, including links to your 3 practice sessions for each. Document the date that you've completed the training module, 3 key lessons you learned, and how the lesson impacted you personally. That's 4 things, 3 lessons and your personal impact. Bullet 2, Include the dates of the live Q&A calls you listen to. These are 2 calls per month. The calls do not directly correspond to the modules, so just note the ones closest to the time you worked on a particular module. 2 calls per module required. Giving the session as a coach. Record the name, the date of the Tapping into Wealth coachee that you practice with the process on the link of the recording of the session. So in the title of the recording, the name of the client should be in there. Not just your name and not just the module. Make that title really long. The date, the module, your name, their name. Okay, practice session. All right, I'm going to reread that. Receiving the session as a client, record the name and date of the Tapping into Wealth coach trainee who practiced each session on you and the link to the recording of the session. So you're the coachee, their name needs to be on it as well. Practice session on non-trainee client, paying or non-paying. Record the name and the date of the non-coachee that you practiced the process on and the link to the recording of the session. These sessions may be used as the case studies you submit for certification. Module 9. For Module 9, your rockstar clients, about perfect customer pain points and benefits, niche interviews, and exactly what to say at networking. Record your niche and their most painful, expensive problems, name 3. Record your vision of the captivate from the start statement, also referred to as an opening mission statement. There are no practice sessions. You need to record when you complete the module and the dates you listen to the 2 Q&A calls, 3 lessons learned, how this module impacted you. So by record, I'm imagining that's a video or an audio, or maybe write it down. I don't understand what record means. That will all become clear. This is why I'm reading it out, is because these kinds of questions get answered through the process. And if I'm thinking it, someone else might be thinking it as well. All right, so that's Module 9. And my ideal client happens to be other Tapping into Wealth coaches, as well as women and givers, you know. I'm also, anyway, I diverge. I digress. Module 10. 2 Q&A dates you listened, date completed module. 3 lessons learned and how it impacts you. Dates, names, and recordings of practice CSAs with another coach, and recordings of doing 5 CSAs with potential client people, not in the Tapping into Wealth training. Module 11, 3 lessons learned, date completed the module, Q&A dates, how this module impacts you. If you do a talk or practice a talk with another coach, you can record the dates here. If you don't do a talk, you leave that blank. Module 12, 2 Q&A dates listed, 3 lessons learned, date completed module, how this module impacted you. If you did the backlash practice with someone, you can record the links to those sessions here. If you did not, you leave those spots blank. All right, so that's 4 of the that's number 4. Processes to submit Tapping into Wealth certification requirements. 1, Tapping into Wealth exam is found in the membership area under the handouts. It is a Word document. Use as much space as you need after each question to answer it completely. Tip, work on this as you listen to the classes. It's an open book test. Oh, that's even a really good tip when you're listening to the lesson. And I believe you're supposed to listen to the lesson twice. which isn't in here, but it is on the checklist. And of course, I printed out the exam and have been handwriting it, but I really like the idea of listening to the recording, opening the Word doc, and filling it in as you go through the modules. Brilliant. Do that. It's open book. Okay, process to submit your Tapping into Wealth requirements. 2, please save the exam file with your name first and then the word exam. For example, Kathy, exam, doc. 3, for the case studies, save all your case studies together in a single Word file. Please provide information on the 8 training module processes plus the 5 CSA case studies. For the 8 training modules process case studies, write as much as you need to give a complete overview of the session. It shouldn't be a transcript word for word, but it should give a complete overview of what happened in the session. You are being evaluated as a coach, so send enough information to clearly show how you helped your client. Here are some examples of what to share. What process did you use? How did you set up the process and set the intention? What was present for them as you started? How did you address any resistance? Share how you worked the clarity process for the session. What tapping did you do with them? What pages did you follow from the book? Share how you modified to address their specific concerns. What came up? How did you proceed with them? What did you tap on next? What were the moments of consciousness? What ahas and shifts did they have? What were their takeaway lessons and insights? There's more. Did you give them homework? And if so, what? What were your thoughts, insights about the session? Share any follow-up information to the session. What did they tell you later about it? Include the link to the session recording. So those are the case study directions as follows from page 1. They are on page 3. For the 5 strategy session case studies, share how you opened the conversation, set pace, expectations, and directed the call. What came up as you helped them clarify their problem, gap, pain, the before picture? How did you help them see where they want to go, the possibilities, hope, the solution they want, the after picture? What was your recommendation? What package or price did you offer? How did you answer their questions? What was the outcome? Four. Okay, I'm not sure what number 4 this is. For the 8 training modules, for the 5 strategy sessions, 4. So this is 4 under 3. 1, pass the score, the exam. 2, case study for the 8 modules. 3, 5 additional case studies on the clarity strategy action sessions with real prospective clients. And we have, and that is, it's organized in kind of a confused way, truthfully. Okay. 3, for the case studies, save all your case studies together in a single file. Please provide information on the 8 training module process plus the 5 CSA studies. Then they go into the description of how to do those. 4, name that file in the same format as above with words case studies. For example, Kathy, case studies, doc. Okay, so we're in procedures. Make sure that all accountability form modules have been completely filled out and saved. And those you have to fill in and submit, and there's no like saving them in the members area halfway through. You can't like open your accountability in the members file and work on it, save it, and come back to it. You got to have all that stuff ready and submit it. So make sure that all the accountability form modules have been completely filled out and saved. When you are ready and everything is complete, send your exam file and your case studies, just 2 files, in the same email and send it to Kimberly@margaretlynch.com. Number 6, congratulations on submitting your Tapping into Wealth certification requirements. Don't forget to celebrate. In the words of Kool and the Gang, celebrate good times, come on. So that's what's in this particular document. It seems as though there is a requirement to celebrate on MeWe as you go along. That's not on here, but maybe it's a recommended requirement. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is this fantastic checklist. Okay. This is a tracker that's in the handouts. It's either in the MeWe handouts or it's in the handouts of the membership. So listen to those 2 calls. Exercise or homework, date of Q&As. So it has listening to the lesson twice, the 2 Q&A calls, homework, coaching a Tapping into Wealth client, being coached by a peer, coaching a prospect, exam answered, case study written up, and celebrate on MeWe. And then there's also a tracker for the clarity calls 1 through 5. This is helpful. If you haven't found it, look for it on the handouts. And it goes on to a second page with modules 9, 10, 11, and 12. The other thing that is useful, and we talked about it earlier, is the exam. And these were the 3 things that I wanted to kind of verbalize and go over in this Tapping into Wealth Coaches quick video with me, Coach Kathy, with Quality Coach Kathy LLC, loving Tapping into Wealth. See you later.